The Dees are 8 points ahead of the pack. We've almost solidified a top 4. With a few games left, they look like easy beats. Let's just keep the run going. Welcome to the unofficial, official? No, the official unofficial podcast of the Melbourne Demons, the DeeBrief. We're all online tonight. It's me, Thomas Marca, and I'm joined by Adzy along with Nuggo. How are we?
Going well, Marca.
Well done with the intro, Marca. Fantastic.
Stuff. We are well prepared as always.
I'd actually like to be referred to as Joel for this podcast, please.
Hi, Joel.
Thank you.
Let's start off with Joel, the super sub. I mean, we talked about it last week. We love one quarter Joel, and he is living up to everything that we spoke about.
See, you just got to love the versatility of the super sub. He can go forward. He can do it all as a sub. He can do it all as a sub. I don't want 4 quarters, but as a sub, he can do it all, and he's amazing. Very versatile, but only as a sub.
Yeah, he was the calm that came in the last quarter, which is crazy.
And he almost turned the game.
Yeah,
he borderline won it for us.
It was a funny game. I didn't think that they were going to come at us at the end like that, but they've got a lot of talent in that team. Lucky Laird and Rochelle didn't play, but we have our outs as well. But all in all, it would have been pretty fun to watch, but not as a Melbourne supporter. I was, I just can't enjoy a win at the moment. At the end you do, but they're really making us work for it.
Yeah, it's taking years off our life at the moment. Like, I think me and Joel were going through the last 8 rounds or something yesterday, and I think the biggest win we've had was against Saints, which was 21 points. And besides that, all of the games, like there's a couple of losses in there to GWS and Port, which were 2 points and 4 points, and then we're just winning by like under a goal sort of thing. So it's heart attack sort of stuff. So hopefully we can have a win against the Tigers comfortably.
I mean, the positive about that is that before this season, we were always spruiking that we could never win close games. So I think it's good that we can be challenged in parts of the game, and then answer to those challenges. So I think it's definitely a positive, especially given that finals football, it's rare that your staunch teams or the close ones are they're consistent throughout finals.
Yeah, and also a big stat as well, just going back to last year, is that we're playing well on the MCG. So we've only lost 1 game on the G, which is huge for like finals confidence.
Yeah, but as Marco was saying, there's that the close games. We just had such a bad record in recent times, and I think it is with maybe 50-50 this year in close games, but we didn't even really have many in the last couple of years. Like in 2021 and 2022, there was hardly any close games. They're all blowouts or sort of like 30-point wins and all losses. But it's good to actually get them that sort of experience. Like, so we're actually, if we do come up against another team that's been experiencing close games all the time, they shall not be named. We'll hopefully have some experience for ourselves, because it can only be good. It's obviously been brutal the last 2 weeks. You take the 2 wins, obviously, but
absolutely. It's 3 wins in a row. Like, winning form is so important at this time of the year, especially given our run home and what that means. We just have to keep rolling through, and if that means having an uncomfortable 4 quarters, but at the end of it there's 4 points there, then
how much does it suck? It sucks so much.
I know that we've had a lot of chat about, do we have that killer instinct? Do you think it's something that I sort of personally look at it as if we're playing pretty bloody well with our best player, arguably the best player in the league, not playing in our team. Players like Viney and Petrarca have really stepped up there. So is it something where when he gets back and hopefully there's no more injuries that we can build on and then start smashing teams again?
Well, you talk about killer instinct. There was one player on the weekend who personifies that when he's up and about, and that's Cozzy Pickett. And how good was it to see him back at his best, right? We need him firing if we're going to do any damage in the finals. Like, we need, if it's not Fritsch, then okay, then Track has that. I'm looking for Brown to start kind of building upon, he's been out of the game a lot, but I really hope that we can get some more run into him, and we really need him firing. But weekend was quiet. He still did some good things. I think structurally he's still important for us. But Rue was awesome. He doesn't need to do a hell of a lot, but some of those marks and those finishes was awesome.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people were sort of talking up Ben Brown's game. He's very important, but he still only had 5 touches and didn't kick a goal.
Yeah, he did very little, but I still think structurally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We just
at the moment our option.
Yeah, he's the best option. He has to be. Well, especially with Petty out, and I don't know if Petty is fit, do you want to? It's probably too late in the season now to experiment with him forward anymore. So it was sort of looking good, that idea, just before he got injured. But then since he's come back, he's gone to defence. So you can't really do that anymore. It's either Ben Brown or T-Mac when T-Mac's fit. So we just got to tough it out.
And I can't really, at the moment, I don't really trust Petty's body. Both times he's come back in, he hasn't got through it. So, I think we need to focus on just getting his body right.
Yeah, I reckon you've got to just back in Rue and Brown as well. Brown can easily pop up for 3-4 goals when he's getting good delivery. And I think Petty, as we've seen, plays his best footy in the back line. Yes, he can pop up in the forward line, but Petty in the back line with Lever and May, when they're firing, they're pretty unbeatable. No one's really scoring over sort of 70 points against us if those three are in the team and fit.
Yeah, I agree. And all we really need the Ben Brown and the T-Mac combo to do is to get to 3/4 time so we can bring on Joel.
But in terms of that killer instinct, I think it's a flow-on effect from your Vineys, your Sparrows, and our contest work, and obviously our backline. They're our greatest strengths, obviously. So if we're strangling the team with our contests and our defense, and they're putting in all the effort, but they can't get past us, then I feel like it's a matter of just suffocating a team until, I guess, the damn wall breaks, and then that's when we kind of can get our opportunity. But I just honestly, apart from other teams that are above us, we just don't have what they have. Up forward, it's just kind of not there. But I mean, it's working at the moment. We're winning. We can still build upon it.
Yeah. I also think, just going what you've said, I completely agree with you, Marca. Up forward, we don't look amazing, but how good is it having Christian Petracca? Just his ability to go forward, and it's almost embarrassing for our forwards. I was speaking to Joel again yesterday about that. How he goes forward and kicks 4 goals. I think did he do it a couple of times, or 4 and 3 goals, and he doesn't play there. Yeah, so pull your fucking finger out, guys. Start bidding some goals. It's good to see Cozzy coming back, and I love watching Cozzy go through the middle. I feel like whenever he goes into the middle, even if it's for 5 minutes or a couple of minutes a quarter, he's always creating stuff, and he's looking like he's peaking at the right time, hopefully.
Yeah.
Chandler as well. That was a great game to come back into for him, and he definitely delivered.
And you almost got to give that Chandler to the coaches almost a little bit, gave him a spell, and he got his form back, and he's come in, and that's fantastic. You got to back that in.
Yeah, great call. I mean, Richmond. I mean, do we need to talk about the Adelaide game too much more? I feel like we can kind of.
I just want to finish with the Adelaide game saying I reckon it was actually a really good win in the end. Adelaide are one of the best sort of 13th, 14th place teams I've seen in a long time. They play an amazing brand. They challenged us the whole time. They've had some extremely close games with other teams this year. And I reckon it was an amazing effort for us to just get over the line at the end. We're definitely the better team, but I wouldn't take anything away from us. They will challenge some teams a lot.
Yeah. As you were saying, Adzy, they're the best 13th or 14th team going on. They took it up to the Pies as well, and Like, think about how much better they are. I mentioned it yesterday. How much better they are than St Kilda, and St Kilda's sixth. How is that a thing? Like, how are they 7 places behind St Kilda? They're clearly a better team, in my opinion. St Kilda.
I mean, it's only like 8 points behind them. It's the margins are small. I still expect Saints to fall out, but
Yeah.
it'll be hard for the Crows to get in now. But yeah, I agree. I really like Adelaide, and they're going to be sick. I don't know. There's a lot of talk that without Tex and a couple old ones, they might drop off. Like, I don't buy into that at all.
Just give us a couple of those young, tall forwards. That'd be nice.
Oh, I'll take a Thorpe. I'll take anything. Give me the fog. I was scared when the fog lined up at the end there because he's usually a dead eye, but he shanked it a bit. He had a quiet day.
He's got piercing eyes.
Played awesome on him.
Thomason's been good. What a good backup. But just on Fog, Alice, my wife, actually was pretty into him when he was playing. Didn't realise. Apparently he's got really piercing eyes.
Is the Fog hot?
Yeah, the Fog is hot.
I didn't realise he was hot.
He's got a presence.
He's got sick booty.
He's got a presence. He's a thick boy.
An old school footballer.
Yeah. I would absolutely love him. If we had him, it'd just be like 6 flags in a row.
It was a good win. You take it, you move on.
Jack Viney, I think maybe we can mention him a little bit. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You go.
No, go on.
Okay.
Go on, talk about Jack.
Yeah, I just think he's every single week he seems to amaze me, and if he's not, well, if the All Australian selectors are watching all of our games, then he should be in calculations. I think we're obviously biased, and there's a shitload of midfielders going around, but he almost deserves a spot on like the pine, I reckon, because what he's doing, he is almost single-handedly winning us games. Like if he doesn't play in the last 2 weeks, we lose both games. I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's fit either. Like, hasn't he been popping his shoulder out and stuff, and he's just getting it popped back in and still playing.
So he's a psycho.
Him and Track will absolutely love it when Clary comes back because that just adds like a whole different dynamic to our team. Like, I know it's one player, one very, very good player, but it just changes their opponents and one of them can sort of get off the leash. And it's amazing that Viney's in this form at the moment because we'll have 3 of them hopefully firing. If Clary, I'd imagine he'll come back and just get over 30 like he's Clary. So, yeah, it'll be good to see.
I've also been loving Brayshaw in the middle. I think his tackling is underrated. He's a really good tackler, and he doesn't look like he's that quick. But he just seems to lunge at the right moment and put that pressure on. Like he's bloody tough, Brayshaw. I'm loving him in the midfield, and it just means that you have more I guess trust in, okay, we can play track up forward if we have a Brayshaw in the guts, and then obviously Oliver to come back.
Yeah.
God, that would be
good. The midfield depth is really shining through, and it's sort of crazy to think that Petrarca wasn't playing forward when Clary was in as well. But I guess he's arguably the best midfielder in the comp himself. So it's crazy. We've got good depth. Loving it.
Now, did we look at Richmond on the weekend? Obviously, they played Hawthorn. I was looking at scores. I didn't look at the game, but I saw Hawthorn were up, but in my head, I was like, well, Tigers will probably come back and win this, and they did. They've kind of got this, I guess, weird kind of, limbo stage of like new coach, people kind of a little bit over the hill, but they're in some good form at the moment, but I just think it's going to be another one of those games that I think we just win, but I think it's going to be a bit of a grind. I feel like Richmond, they kind of come up to the level of who they're playing a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I see us winning, but I also see it being another kind of like,
Yeah, it'll be another heart attack, I reckon, as well. Richmond, the annoying thing for us is that they have had a few wins recently, which keeps them in contention for the 8. So the thing that scares me is, player like Dustin Martin when they're in contention for the 8, like he can really just flick it when he decides to, but it just depends if he cares. Like, I feel like he's kind of CB now. Like, he just picks and chooses games where he's like, I'm going to play well here. But I don't know. I'd imagine they'll come out firing against us.
Do we have anyone? There's talk that Hibbo's going to be coming in. What does that look like? Who does he come in for? Obviously, he would be a great matchup on Dusty, which he's done in the past, and he's, not, you can't completely stop Dusty, but he definitely like nullifies Dusty. As good as Judd has been, I don't trust him on a Dusty. I think he needs someone with a bit more.
Can't kick him out though. He has to stay in the team, surely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking who plays on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would love Hibbo to come. Always love Hibbo in the team, but if someone was to go out, like, it would be really hard. Everyone's sort of playing quite well at the moment.
JJ,
like, do you leave out Taj Woden? Yeah, JJ's just always the sacked. How off is JJ when Clary comes back?
He's so out.
Oh yeah,
he's already out. just bad luck, mate. I'll see you at Essendon next year. But I'm a bit worried about Richmond as well. I think it is a danger game. Despite the fact that they only just beat Hawthorn, I don't know, the comp's so even this year. It's weird, don't you think? And yeah, they've still got Jets. I don't know. Is Lynch still out? I assume he's not playing.
Lynch is get done for
yeah,
the year.
okay.
But the thing is, Reroll historically kicks at least 3 goals
Yeah.
against us.
And he'll kick like annoying
simply bad.
goals from boundary as well, and he'll celebrate like a fucking douchebag, and we'll hate it.
Yeah.
But as he said, Dusty's got to be the number one worry. Despite he's probably not their best player at the moment. Like, Baker's a gun, Bolter's obviously a gun. Taranto's had a huge season. They've still got good players, so you can't, and it's just like that's that wispy Sunday 3:20 game again, where it's just once the lights come on in the last quarter, it's just anything can happen.
Yeah, I just look at their forward line, especially with Lynch out. I mean, you're going to have to get Dusty, Bolton, Rewalt all firing to kick a score that will beat us. And then in saying that, you also need your kind of Cumberlands to like bob up and get their 2 goals as well. But
yeah, I
think our back line is just, they're so bloody good, man. Like, I'm just like so confident that Richmond won't score, over 85, 90 points against us. It's just more a matter of, are we going to be able to do the damage going the other way? Yeah,
well, we've been able to do that amazingly in the last few weeks since Bebe went out, and Track's gone forward. We've scored some decent scores, so you've got to hope it can continue. I don't know if that resulted in, or if us scoring more is resulting in us leaking more, like we did last weekend. But you got to take the scores, and you got to back our defense. So you still back us to win, but you just can't help but think it's another danger game. After this, I feel pretty safe against North. Like, that's a win, guaranteed win. Don't want to jinx it, but exactly. And then I just think if we win this week, we've solidified top 4, and we're pretty set to have almost a chill entrance into September.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but if you lose this week, then you kind of look at the Carlton game and go, oh no. Like, even though they've started to, like, I feel like they're going to lose this week, right? They've lost Mackay, and they've got a couple other players who are under the injury cloud a little bit. So, they might taper a little bit, but you just know that when they play us, they will come and meet us, and it'll be just one
a
of
2-point game.
But you're right. This is like, it will just be a nice breath of just kind of relaxation. Okay, we can steady the ship. Yes.
Yeah.
Am I don't know. And I was literally about to say exactly what you said then. Like, hopefully we don't lose this, and then it becomes like not chill at all, and we have to play Carlton. But I don't know if I'm sort of delusional here, and tell me if I am, but I feel like you were talking about how Carlton always play well against us, and I feel like when we play against teams in the last couple of years, they throw the kitchen sink at us. Like, is that just me, or does that happen to all the top 4 teams? Like, can we just have like one team that's really off just one day? I would just fucking love that, please.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And it kind of seems to be, I mean, the one I look at the most this year was Geelong were nowhere, but then when we played them, they just like turned it on, and their contest game was, mental, and the pressure game was like way up, and it's like people, want to meet us there because they know that that's our strength. So it's like, okay, how are we going to meet Melbourne, and how are we going to match them? It's by going hard at the contest. And, that's silly to say they don't do that against other teams, but, when you're in the middle and you're lined up against your Varneys, your Brayshaws and your Truckers and whatnot, like you would, you would have to get this extra sense or this extra kind of like competitiveness around.
Yeah,
right?
and I think Chase just mentioned we haven't lost to Carlton since 2016, so we probably shouldn't worry about them too much.
Well, I feel like we've got a bit of a run against Richmond since they've won flags as well.
Yeah.
I want to say it's 20. I reckon 2020 was the last time they beat us.
Yeah, we're fucking on.
I'm more confident about this game than I am.
Same.
I don't know
Yeah, I think if we slip up with this, it won't be a chill entrance to September. So I think this is this is the last game I really want to win, and then I think everything else will just take care of itself. If we do win this week, like it'd be cool just going to that Sydney game and just knowing we're going to finish 4th, and not stressing. Like I'm pretty sure, all we need to do is win, 2 or 3 more games, and we're guaranteed top 4. I think so. Yeah, and
And considering two of those games are against Hawthorn and North, and you just know Hawthorn will probably pull a rabbit out of the hat. Like,
is it? Do you think it's? You know how you're mentioning how teams get to our level at games? Do you think it's more we play to the level of our opponent, or it's the other way around?
Oh, that's a good question.
Bit of both.
A bit of both, yeah. A bit of both. Like, because, when you look at times where we've had a bad loss and we've looked...
Well, it's impossible to tell, really,
and then the following week we play Collingwood and we beat them, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you explain that? I don't know.
It's a circus.
Yeah. The other thing is there's some other games that are pretty big this weekend. So, this isn't big, but Geelong are going to win. They're playing Freo at GA. And then you've got the Dogs and Giants, which is a massive game at Mars Stadium. So if you want to get down to Ballarat and see a blockbuster, that's one worth watching. In terms of other top 4, Essendon and Sydney are interesting. Sydney could weirdly make a charge as well, and then maybe that last game against us could be something, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, but
but yeah, in terms of teams who are threatening us coming into that top 4 spot, it's really Geelong and Doggies. So if Giants beat Dogs, then it's see it to them. But for us to slip up, it's really Geelong that I see that.
I agree, and because I think they've still got maybe 3 or 4 games down here in the G hole to go. So I'll probably egg the stadium tomorrow when I go past.
They got tough games though. They've still got to play Pies, Brisbane.
Yeah.
And
they lost to Brisbane. They got Port at home, which I'm booking as a win. They just win at home. So. And I'm sure they've got a couple other ones.
Well, they've got Pies in.
They'll win that. I think they'll win that. I think they will win that because they're just fucking clinical this time of year. Yeah,
they could. They easily could. But if they lose that, they're basically off for top 4. So, but knowing the Pies, they'll probably fuck us and lose it, and then we'll have the pressure on again.
Well, I think they want to avoid us at all costs in that first final.
Yeah. Oh, seriously. They would much prefer Port or Brisbane over us.
I think we discussed it earlier. And we may as well get ahead of ourselves and just talk finals and talk top 4. But I think the one game I wholeheartedly want to avoid at all costs is Brisbane in Brisbane. I do not want to play them there
Yeah.
at all. I am chill with everything else. Everything else is
It's a lot.
fine. I'm fine with everything else. I'm not
Yeah.
not wanting to play up the Gabba. That is a place you don't want to be. That is a loss. See, I don't think I actually don't think they can win the grand final this year at the G. I don't think they can, but I definitely believe they can win prelims at the Gabba, and they will win prelims at the Gabba if they get there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. Imagine if, say it's settled right now. Port and Brisbane in Port is
That would
really
be a
interesting.
very close game.
I don't know. I still really Port are sick, but I don't know. I can't see them going all the way. I think for me, it's Collingwood, Brisbane, and Melbourne. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think Port are still in that stage where they're they're going to be awesome, but they're like guns are still around that sort of 21 to 23 age group. So they might do like what we did in 2018 and get to a prelim or something. But I just can't see them going all the way against like the likes of, as you said, us, Brisbane, and Collingwood.
Well, you saw in that grand final last year that it's just like sometimes it's men against boys, and at the point end of the season, it's the cooler older heads who just stick fat and stay to the course and just get the job done. Because finals is just like
I
a
agree.
different beat. Like it's a completely different game, and say you even look at Collingwood's game, and we're going to talk about it, but you look at how they play. You can't really, I don't know, do a lot of their kind of, I don't know, just in terms of finals football, you can't use like a day cost the way that they do and kind of just do these cheap kind of like possession because it's a.
Are you saying it's
game.
Not sustainable?
I don't think it's. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. I'm happy to, but just from my experience from watching finals, like you're backing more like someone like a Taylor Adams in the finals, or like your Pendles, just those like contest beasts. It's just like
I think
crazy.
if they and we are talking about them now, so I may as well dig in. The same thing happened last year though. Like in their finals, they lost those games, but their best players, as you said, was still Pendlebury and still Taylor Adams. Like the weathered guys that have been doing it for years. Whereas the new guys, I think, they just get flustered. Like it took in 2018, I'm pretty sure Clary and Petrarca weren't exceptional in our finals, but then get forward.
Yeah.
Stepping
up to the plate.
God. But then fast forward 3 years later when they've matured to their peak, they're just completely controlling it. And I don't think these young players for Port or there's not really that many young players for Brisbane. I think Brisbane's probably in the window, but I just think they're too scared of the G. And then there's the Dacoses, which you hate.
Around the ball, I actually reckon that Ashcroft's going to be like a really big out for him. He kind of goes under the radar of how kind of vital.
Yeah, that's not the season ender we wanted.
It means that well, it means that a Lions has to step up, and he's a little bit past it. But Dunkley, Neil, they're freaks, and I'm so bullish about our we need Oliver back, obviously, but if he can come back and do what he does normally, and I'm sure he will, but just him, Viney, Brayshaw, Petrarca, I see them having just a mental final series of around the contest, and even a Sparrow can kind of chime in here and there. But those four boys
and the defense,
the cool head of Sailor.
Well, out of all of the teams that are likely to be in the finals, besides obviously Geelong, our finals experience would have to be up there now with our players. We've been pretty consistently over the last sort of 5 years, in the finals really. So, and that sweet spot of age, what's Track with 27, 28 now, Viney around the same. I just have so much faith in, especially those two. And Clary is just the same, whether he's playing in round one or in a grand final, but especially those two. And Max, I just feel like they will really calm everyone down and calm the younger players down when it does get to finals. And then you've got a Stephen May and Lever in defence who have been there before. It's just going to be completely different when you play a Port Adelaide. Those your butters and your rosés and stuff. I feel like exactly to your point, Marca, that cream will rise to the top, hopefully, and the experience will show.
Well, you just mentioned Max. Do we want to touch on the Grundy thing?
Yeah.
Or is it just kind of he can't really come in until Max doesn't dominate? Like, what's the go there? I don't know. A lot of the media still questions it. Media are already saying that he's going to Port Adelaide next year, but I don't really know what's going on there. But
forget the media. Let's have our own views. I at the moment I can't see him coming back in. I love the backup factor. I still think it's a good asset for us. I still think he's a great asset for us because if Max gets proppy at all, if he's not 100% fit, we can bring him in. But if he keeps playing like he is now, and if he is fit, then obviously don't give him a game because I think it's just a waste of a spot in the team, and it just gives someone like a JVR not a spot in the team who can actually play as a forward, unlike Grundy. Because we all know Grundy's he's a ruckman and he's not a forward. It's been said enough. But I still like it though. I think he's done well. Like I was very off him at the start of the season, as you might have remembered, and I mainly just because he was from Collingwood and they're just a bunch of dogs. But I still like him on our list at the moment. I've got no qualms. Adzy?
Yeah, I completely agree. I can't see him coming back in unless like Max has a horrendous game or Touchwood gets injured. But exactly, just to reiterate what Nuggets was saying, he's been an amazing pickup for us still. Like he played 17 games in a row. Max did get injured, and he played well when he was the sole ruck too. So, and also there's an element to it that you can say, if you look at last year, Max was crawling to the line because he was so overdone. He's probably throughout this year, been a bit more rested, even when he's been playing, because he's only been playing that 50% in the ruck. So he might be going into, the finals now feeling completely fresh compared to last year, which is another bonus. And then if something does happen, he's a pretty amazing, like he's an all-Australian ruckman to have just waiting there if we need to put him in.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I tend to agree with both of you. I think the trade talk is ridiculous, and champion data, if that means anything to anyone, Grundy was in the All-Australian team up until halfway of the year, right? So obviously he was doing a lot right. And as you said, if we didn't have him this year, who knows what would have happened? You know what I mean? We probably wouldn't be sitting fourth right now. So, but yeah, in terms of him coming in, I can't see him.
Yeah, and I think also the salary cap stuff gets talked up too much. Like, who cares? You've got to pay the salary cap. So we've currently allotted part of it for Grundy, and I'm sure Collingwood's paying heaps as well. No one actually knows the figures, so I don't know why it's all it is just like speculation, and it just builds up a narrative that's not really there. Like the team's playing well at the moment. Who gives a fuck? And Grundy's in the background. I'm happy with that personally.
Yeah, I mean, and we gave up peanuts.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it, pick 27, and Collingwood are paying a third of what might be close to.
Well, but like the average wage is like 500,000 now, so it's not that big a deal. Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Way more than us.
Have we still got time?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I've been bowling some leagues in the backyard, hoping we can play for the Aussies. Yeah.
Pulling Alex Carey.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk cricket. We've got the Ashes coming up. Starts in about 2 hours. Hopefully we win the toss for once. They've won 4 tosses. We need a coin review almost. But yeah, what do you think? Do you reckon we're going to win? Or are you worried?
I'm kind of like, I'm definitely worried because I know that like they're going to come out hard because of everything that's gone.
So funny
but also at the end of the day, if they do win, then that's even better because then they'll be saltier because they're sooks and it's in their DNA.
Yeah. Like we could probably take this back to the Dees, but I'm happy to keep talking about this if you guys are.
I mean, I got nothing. If I'm honest, I
Yeah,
got nothing
well,
else to say about
the
Dees.
team, the
Go, we
teams
got
aren't
Richmond,
out as I
Dees.
think Chase wanted us to mention earlier. The teams aren't out. We're just doing this
Yeah.
on our time, so we're assuming there won't be any changes. If there is, then great. Like who was available? I think someone was available. Maybe Petty or Pig.
Pig?
You got 30 touches in the for Casey, and his
Yeah,
form before he got injured was awesome. Like, and it just goes to show just how unbelievably deep our backline is at the moment. Like, it's so sick. Obviously, Tomlinson, he's playing for his spot a bit, and even when he is playing well, like, the bloke just
yeah.
somehow seems to get dropped. It's just it's so competitive spots. It's crazy. So I would love to see Hibbo in, but it's really hard to kind of pick someone to come out of there.
Pig's like flaggy for me. Like, when Pig comes in, it's getting to that sort
You
of.
you go back to that kind of discussion about mature, bigger bodies, older heads who are playing in finals in that type of environment. Like, he epitomizes that. Like, that's him. That's I just feel so comfortable knowing that Hibbo is in the back line. He's like our Maynard kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like,
and he's still good. I thought he was done
done
two or 3 years ago, and he's still good.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? His hip or something, or his ribs or something? He was playing.
Yeah.
He's playing awesome.
Yeah, is in Hibbo? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. What was it?
Didn't he puncture his lung, or it was something like they couldn't believe that he played on throughout that game?
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah, he's a
You
psycho.
love that.
Yeah, he is. He's a real psycho.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the cricket.
Yeah, well, look, we can just wrap it up here if we want, fellas.
We may as well do predictions. I'll kick it off. Rightio, it's 3 o'clock Sunday, MCG. What's the weather doing? Do we know what the weather's doing? I'm going to look it up right now. Sunday weather. What do we got? Oh, it's raining. We're going to lose.
No, it says
scattered showers.
1 millimetre. Possible shower.
Well, no doubt there will be a weird storm that comes over at the right time. If the ball is a bit greasy, I'm going to say the ball's going to be a bit greasy because of the time as well. I think that the Tigers will come out pretty hot like they did last time we played them, and it looked pretty scary for a bit there. But as we've already mentioned in this pod, the cream will rise to the top. This time of the year, the teams who are where they are deserve to be there. And I think that we just kind of have them. We have the wood over them at the moment, and it will just be an uncomfortable 12-point win. And my best on ground will be Stephen May, and he will nullify Jack Riewoldt, and he won't get a posse, and Jack will be chaired off the game, and he will retire right there.
I love that. That's great. I think, my prediction. Sorry, Adzy, you can go last. Bring it home. But yeah, my prediction is very similar. It's just going to be a painful game. Some of their random spuds like Ben Miller will pop up and kick 2, and you'll just be pissed off. But we'll be in front the whole way. They'll just be lingering within a goal or 2. And look, we might kick another goal late. Like Jack Viney will just bob up and just be like, "Yeah, I'm over this," and just bin a goal late, and we'll win by 17 points. And hopefully, Jack Riewoldt retires. That'd be great for everyone. Nice. Best on Jack Viney. I'm so on him at the moment. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I actually think it's going to be quite a convincing win just going through as well. I'm really feeling it.
Like last week was close.
When we were when we were just talking about finals experience and stuff, I was getting so jacked and just going through our players. Yeah, it's going to be. This is the game we've been waiting for. This is going to be quarter time. We're high fiving, borderline not even watching the game. lights are going to come on, and it's going to be glorious. I reckon minimum 95 points
Nice.
on the
Love that,
JT to
Adzy.
bring it home.
And let's hope the Matildas can get up as well, and also, hopefully Bazball gets rained out again.
Who's
Well,
your
Chase
best man,
Chase has just said here he reckons that Bazball are going to win by 6 wickets.
Oh, well.
It's going to be 2-2.
No, I don't mind it.
Don't know about that, Chase.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're retained.
We still retain.
4 times in a row. Anyway, it's been good, guys. Thanks, Chase, for running it. Shout out to
Sign us off.
Shout out to Nortsy in
Sign us off.
I don't know, where is he? In Pontecello or something? Yeah. Sure he's
He's in
having a
Italy.
shocking time.
Lots of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and cold
It's good-
down
it's
here
good
in
here.
Geelong. It was one last night. It was going outside. It was freezing.
I'm actually going to see the Christopher
Oh, yes.
Nolan flick tonight. Looking forward to
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm going to see
Ah,
Barbie
Oppenheimer.
with the missus tomorrow.
It's a,
So that'll be great.
That'll be fun.
Sorry, what's that?
Dog. You taking Kiki to go see it?
Nah, it's just the missus, and we're just very excited about it.
Nice. Well, we can do.
Yeah, let's do a
we
review.
Can do a film
When is
matchup
Naughty
next
back?
week.
Is he back next week? Yeah, because this
Hopefully.
is a train wreck without him.
Yeah. Marca, I'll be in the studio next Thursday if you want to.
I think my
Wanna join
studio
me?
days
Should
are
be fun.
done after last
Good.
week. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's all good. Thanks, fellas. All right, thanks, Chase. Thank you.
All right, boys. You go to the game on Sunday?
I can't get to the game actually, which is annoying.
I might go.
Yeah,
We'll see
I
how we
might go. See how
feel.
we go.
All right,
Yeah.
cheers, fellas.
All right, boys.
Thank
See
you.
everyone. Go Dees.